Hi there, this is Muhammad Arsath from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, India. I'm going to present my research work PARAM, a microprocessor hardened for power side channel attack resistance. In cryptography, there are some form of attack. They do not bother about software implementation. Rather, it focuses on the hardware when it is executing a sensitive information. An attacker can extract secret information from an embedded device through physical parameters. The physical parameters can be anything such as power consumed by the device, electromagnetic emanations from the device, execution time, and also acoustic information. These type of attacks are known as side channel analysis or power attacks. In the beginning, side channel attacks were only focusing to break the crypto algorithms and try to reveal the secret keys out of it. But over the years, the attackers shifted their focus on the actual devices. For example, the attacks such as reverse engineering firmware, recovering passwords from the authentication devices such as YubiKey2 are quite common works in power side channel attacks. Attackers were able to fingerprint mobile applications and the websites mobile users are accessing frequently using power side channels. It compromises the mobile users' privacy. The attacks on CNN accelerators were quite popular in 2018 it is proposed by Wei et al. The attacker were able to retrieve the images used in CNN, and also some attacks were targeting to reveal the configuration of trained CNN models. Though there have been different attacks proposed on different multiple devices, on the other hand, there have been different countermeasures proposed by different researchers. It varies from algorithmic approach to hardware level solutions, and also it is implemented at different layers of operation. For example, in algorithmic approach, the work such as stress rekeying, usage of peaks are known works. In implementation approach, the work such as the application of mask and threshold implementation are common. In software solutions, the work such as code morphing, which creates a moving target to the attacker that makes the attack very difficult. Finally, in the hardware level solutions, the solutions are constant power consuming logic styles, randomizing the input clock by jitters, switching capacitor current equalizer module are quite famous work in hardware level approaches. Though there were different countermeasures proposed at different layer of operation, and each one has associated with its own limitation. For example, algorithmic and implementation solutions, they do not scale well. It is very specific to crypto algorithm. If someone want to provide a specific random application from the power side channel attacks using this algorithmic or implementation solution, they cannot do so. And also associated overheads are very high. It is up to 3x. On the other hand, software solutions such as compiler level solution and code morphing, they do not prevent all type of leakages, and also it is designed in such a way that it is designed to protect a specific applications or algorithm. EDA based approaches, they do not provide security guarantees due to the higher noise levels. Our motivation is to enable or empower computer architects to handle power side channel leakages. A system designer or a computer architect who do not have expertise in side channel domain, he should be able to detect and fix the side channel vulnerabilities in the early stage of the design phase. Since we are trying to give fixes at the ground up level, the associated overheads in terms of area and performance are very minimal in compared to the contemporary works. One of our motivation is to provide security for applications executed in a processor. Unlike the previous works, which only targets a particular module, trying to protect a particular module or trying to protect a particular application that is executed in a processor. Here is the overall idea. When the source RTL of the processor is initially taken, it undergoes simulation. At the end of simulation, the simulation results will be stored as VCD files, meaning value change dump. The value change dump files are then taken by the plan framework. Plan does pattern extraction and correlation analysis. At the end of leakage identification step or phase, it produces a leakage report, something like this, for a given circuit. A system designer who can have a look at this leakage report can able to come up with the leakage mitigation based on the nature of the leakage he or she has found in the design. The final end product is PARAM, which we call it as power attack resistant microprocessor. Now let us see how the leakage of a simple circuit such as full adder can be evaluated. In full adder circuit, we consider full adder, carry lookup, add round key and carry modules. This is the corresponding source code of full adder circuit. It has all the 4 modules and this is the Verilog implementation of this full adder circuit. So what we are interested is in this expression y equal to sum plus carry out XORed with k. In order to evaluate side channel leakage of a given circuit or a given module, we have to form 2 components. One is oracle trace and side channel trace. Oracle traces can be derived from function of interest by substituting the actual secret value. For example, for a full adder circuit, the function of interest is sum plus carry out XORed with actual secret. So when we substitute different values for S and carry out, and also if we substitute the actual secret value, what we get is the oracle set of oracle values, and it contains nothing but the ground truth information. On the other hand, side channel traces can be derived from simulation data by aggregating all the signal values that is present in that particular module. These side channel values contains approximated power consumption information of each module that is present in a given RTL or a given circuit. Let us now see how plan actually works to evaluate the information leakage in a given circuit or RTL. Oracle traces can be computed from the ground truth information as given here. So for n different input values, there will be n different oracle values, and the side channel traces can be computed using the value that is present in all the signal that is present in that particular module. For example, in a full adder circuit, the signals are A, B, K, C and so on. So values present in all these signals are concatenated together, then it will form a single quantity. That quantity represents a side channel value of that particular module. I, j here depicts the ith input and jth clock cycle. Once the oracle trace and side channel matrix are ready, it undergoes pattern extraction, in which Hamming distances between each pair of values would be computed. For example, for n different oracle value, n choose to different oracle distance values will be computed, which we call it as oracle distance vector. Similarly, on each column of side channel trace matrix, we compute Hamming distances on each possible pairs. So these matrix would be called as side channel distance matrix. In correlation analysis phase, each oracle distance vector would be correlated against each side channel distance vector. Finally, among all the correlation scores, the maximum correlation score will be considered or will be assigned as a leaking score of that particular module. Here is the information leakage plot of full adder circuit. It is evident that full adder module and add round key module leaks more information above the threshold when compared to all of its submodules. This is due to the fact that these two modules are having the function of interest which has the secret key. Let us see how the leakage of a processor can be evaluated by plant framework. So our reference platform is a RISC-V processor which has 5-stage in-order pipeline. It is known as Shakti-C. The Verilog source code of the same consists of 430 modules and 20k signals overall. So this is the architecture of our reference platform. Excuse me. So when we pass source RTL of our reference platform to plant, this is the leakage report we have got from plant. All the modules here are grouped by its functionalities. For example, the functionalities such as memory hierarchy, registers, functional units, interstage buffers, instruction fetch, instruction memory and TLB. As we see here, in the memory hierarchy group, the modules such as data cache, hit buffer, line buffer are causing more leakages. There are totally about 85 signals causes side channel vulnerability. Second, the modules such as register file, physical register file, control and status register All these three modules together leaks information on 24 signals overall. The third set of modules are arithmetic logic unit, floating point unit, and multip unit. Totally, these modules combined together, there are 21 signals causes information leakage. But this result is quite surprising because in simulation we ran AES on our reference platform. As we know, AES do not have floating point operation or multi operation with respect to the sensitive data. But plant reports leakages in these modules. This is quite surprising and an unexpected result. And also we are seeing leakage at branch prediction unit module. As we know, AES does not have any sensitive branches. So this is also an unexpected result. Let us investigate what actually causes the information leakage in the expected modules such as data cache, hit buffer, line buffer, and also some unexpected surprising modules such as floating point unit, multi unit, and BPU unit. This is the information leakage plot of our reference platform. It is the floor plan of Shakti C on which we apply leakage scores of each modules. The leakage here varies from 0 to 1. Different color code depicts a different amount of leakage here. So as we see, all the memory modules such as data cache, line buffer, hit buffer, register files causes more leakage. And also the unexpected modules such as floating point unit, multip unit, and branch prediction unit causes leakages. So this is how the memory modules and register files are interconnected in the data paths of our reference platform. When the data block is fetched from off-chip RAM by cache controller, it is getting stored in the line buffer. Then the critical words are getting forwarded to physical register file while placing it in the data cache. So data path of our baseline processor interconnects all of these memory modules and register files. So as we know, all these memory modules holds the sensitive information which correlates more with the power. Due to the higher correlation, these memory modules and register files actually found to be leaking the sensitive information. We have done some experiments on data cache in order to find the data and address of data cache, leakages due to data and addresses of data caches. In the first experiment, we placed the same data value over different cache sets and we measured the power consumption during each placement, and we measured the difference between the power consumption of each set against all other possible cache addresses. So this is the heat map that shows the same. We did t-test on each comparison. So the t-scores here ranges from 0 to 40. By side channel standards, when t-score crosses 4.5, it is said to be leaking the information. So there are multiple regions here actually causes more leakage than 4.5. This is corresponding power distribution plot. As we see here, there are each cache set has its own unique footprint, and also it is quite far apart from each other. In the second experiment, we placed the different byte value on the same cache address and we measured the power consumed by different data value on each cache set. So we compared these differences between these power distributions using the same t-test, and the t-score here ranges from 0 to 40. As we see here, there are multiple regions that has the leakage score of more than 4.5, and this is the corresponding power distribution plot. So with this experiment, we can conclude, or we can summarize that the address of the data cache actually are more vulnerable than the data that is being stored in the data cache. This is the expected design of execution unit in our reference platform. When the operand is fetched from register file, it has to be forwarded to one of its functional unit that is present in execution module. For example, if the instruction is of type arithmetic or logic instruction, then the operand has to be forwarded to ALU unit. If the instruction is of type multip operation, then the operand has to be forwarded to multip unit. If the instruction is of type floating point operation, then the operand has to be forwarded to floating point unit. Our reference platform is written in BlueSpec System Verilog. When the BlueSpec compiler converts the BlueSpec System Verilog into System Verilog, it introduces certain performance-centric optimization, due to which it introduces side channel vulnerabilities. For example, when the operand is fetched from register file, instead of forwarding to corresponding module, the operand is broadcasted to all of the functional units, irrespective of the instruction type. So this causes side channel vulnerabilities in the unexpected modules such as floating point unit and multiv unit. So far we have seen two major reasons for information leakage in our reference platform. The first reason was due to module that holds the data, which is correlated more with the secret. In order to break the correlation, we obfuscate the data to break the correlation between data and power consumption. The second major reason for information leakage was due to security agnostic ADA translation, which can be protected by using safe HDL constructs. Here is the idea of obfuscation. When the data is fetched from off-chip RAM by cache controller, the data has to be obfuscated. From there on, the obfuscated data will be held by all of the data module and also the data path. So when the data stored in the register file, when it is fetched for operand fetch stage, the data has to be deobfuscated in order to do the execution. So it is the deobfuscated data is getting stored in this IDEXE pipeline buffer, then it undergoes execution. After that, after the end of execution, the executed result will be obfuscated back, and then it is getting stored in this EXMEM pipeline buffer, and then it accessed in the further pipeline modules. These two plots compare leakage between baseline processor and after applying obfuscation, what is the leakage in the data cache. So this plot we have already seen. By this plot is for placing the same data over different cache addresses, and we have seen this actually leaks more information. After applying obfuscation, this is the heat map we have obtained. There are no region actually now has the leakage score of 4.5 and above. So this is the piece of code that is written in our reference platform. It is written in BlueSpec System Verilog. I'll go through this code. So when this condition A1 greater than 20, we are setting tag valid A1 plus A2 as into RG out this register. If this condition fails, we set this RG out register as tagged invalid. When it is converted as System Verilog by BlueSpec compiler, this is how this piece of logic is realized. So it is getting assigned as RG out, this register is assigned as this condition as a flag bit, followed by the A1 plus A2 value. So irrespective of this condition 1 or 0, this value will be always getting stored in this register out. So we corrected this as follows. Excuse me. In the BlueSpec code, we removed tagged valid construct and we explicitly specified 1 followed by the value if the condition is true, otherwise 0 followed by all ones. So in the Verilog code, the same design is realized as 1 followed by A1 plus A2 if the condition is true, otherwise it will be 0 followed by all ones. This simple fix actually removes the side channel vulnerability from all unexpected modules. This is the architecture of the PARAM processor, which has all the mitigation techniques in place. So these red dashed lines are now holding the obfuscated value, and these red darker lines are the memory modules that holds the obfuscated data. Excuse me. So whenever the key change happens in the obfuscation function, the remapping unit takes care of remapping the value that is already been stored in the memory modules and registers. This is the leakage, information leakage comparison plot of PARAM over baseline version. PARAM, as we see here, there are no memory module now found to be leaking the information, and so the unexpected modules such as FPU, MULDIV and BPU. Though the ALU module is suspicious to leak the information, our DPA, differential power analysis result shows even after 1 million power traces, an attacker cannot able to reveal the secret information from PARAM. So here in this plot, as we see here, the leakage in baseline processor are quite high in the memory module as well as unexpected modules. On the other hand, all the memory module, after applying mitigation techniques in PARAM, it is very lesser than 0.3. And only the ALU module is still having the same amount of leakage, and all these unexpected modules have totally refrained from power side channel leakages. In order to do DPA, the processor is instantiated on Sasebo G3 FPGA board which has Kintex 7, and we collected power traces while executing benchmark code on both the processor versions. We computed mean time for key disclosure on both the processors in order to do the resistance, in order to check the resistance against the first order DPA. So our baseline processor, as we see here, the correct key correlation actually goes high when it reaches 63,000 traces. The correct key correlation for it goes high. From there on, it started to leak the information. On the other hand, in PARAM, even after 1 million traces, the correct key correlation is very less when compared to the incorrect key guesses. To conclude my presentation, this is the first general purpose processor which has built-in security against power attacks. Since we are trying to fix the leakages at ground up level, vulnerabilities at ground up level, our associated area and performance overheads are very less when compared to the work such as masking. Some of our future works are to address ALU and control path leakages. Thank you.